Devin, the dream, turned into a nightmare Haney, youngest undisputed champion, don't duck no smoke, legacy fighter, chases belts, not money. That was the brand. That was the whole identity. So somebody explain to me, why is Devin allegedly running to Dana White and ZUFFA for a check? Because if the rumors are true, everything his fans have been arguing with us about for years just got proven wrong in real time. Let's get into it. Hi, welcome to the channel. I'm Jay, and this is R2 Cents, where we talk everything boxing, and everybody's entitled to their own opinion. If you're new here, be sure to punch that like and subscribe button, and let me know and drop it below your 2 cents as I go throughout the video. Be sure to help support the channel by hitting the Cash App at 2 Cents Boxing, or hitting the heart with the $ and leaving a special thanks below, letting me know you're enjoying the content. So, the word on these YouTube streets is Devin Haney is in talks to sign with ZUFFA, Dana White, and Turki Alalshikh's boxing promotional venture. Yes, boxing promotional company. And the moment this rumor dropped, two camps formed immediately. Camp one, you got the Haney fans. They're out there saying that this is a power move, he's getting his paper, he's doing what's best for him. And somehow, according to them, Tank Davis fans are the ones who are upset about it. Then you got Camp 2. Everybody who's been watching this situation clearly is saying this proves exactly what we've been saying about Devin Haney's actual market value this entire time. And here's where I land. This isn't about being a hater. This isn't about rooting against Devin. This is just about telling the truth. And the truth is, if this deal happens, if it happens, it contradicts everything Devin Haney has built his brand around. Everything. To understand why the ZUFFA rumor even exists, you have to understand what just happened with Roly Romero negotiations, because that's what set all of this off. So Devin and Roly were supposed to fight. Roly had his belt, Devin had his belt, and a unification fight was on the table. Now, early on, Devin's camp was calling out Roly and
looking for a guy by the name of Roly Romero. Yeah.
Roly, in classic Roly fashion, was doing interviews saying he didn't want to fight Devin, saying he might sue me.
I think Devin should get his rematch and Ryan should do us all a favor and just give Devin his rematch, because I don't want to get sued for 2 years after I knock him out.
The fighter talk. But eventually, Roly gets past his other obligations and negotiations and opens up. And we're expecting the fight to happen. Then Bill Haney comes out and start making noise about how they weren't getting a guarantee.
And when you have a network in the zone that has a guarantee, or you have Turki, or you have something in that case as a guarantee, well, then you have something to look to as an addition to everything else. And without a guarantee from Amazon or Prime or any of that, then that made it even more challenging on our part to come up to an agreement.
And the average fan who doesn't understand how boxing business actually works, that sounds like Devin is a victim. Like he's being lowballed, like the industry is doing him dirty. But here's the part nobody wants to address. Devin Haney did not go into those negotiations as a fighter. He went into the negotiations as DHP. Don't have paper. Devin Haney Promotions. As the promoter. And when you come to a table as a promoter, the rules are completely different. When you're a promoter, you get presented with a list of expenses that need to be covered before profit gets distributed. That's not a scam. That's not a conspiracy. That's just basic business. Revenue minus expenses equals profit. That is the foundation formula for every business that's ever existed. Now, Bill Haney went to the public, who largely don't know the inner workings of fight promotion, and said, they hit us with a $6 million worth of expenses. And of course, there are people like, $6 million, that's outrageous. But when you're putting on a fight that's going to generate tens of millions of dollars in revenue, $6 million in expenses is completely reasonable number. That's how the math works at that level. So when Bill Haney was out making Devin seem like a victim who...
Well, it's a good opportunity for them to hear it from me, you know what I mean, representing us and our brand. Of course, our history will show that we've done far more than what anyone else has done in the younger generation about this legacy. And quite a few of the older guys in terms of crossing platforms, crossing the sides of the street, taking short money, signing promotional contracts to do things. So for this to be a true co-promotion between PBC and DHP, well,
couldn't get a fair deal. He was conveniently leaving out the fact that they came to the table as the promoter. The reason Devin didn't get the upfront guarantee he wanted isn't because PBC was doing him wrong. It's because DHP doesn't have the leverage or the paper to negotiate from the position as a promotional entity. That's a hard truth, but it's the truth. And then Bill Haney basically confirmed everything with his own words. Check it out.
What it takes to have the site, to have the site fee, the sponsorships, everything that'll go into making the show possible for the guys to get the money. That's normally the talk of us, DHP, me, and the other promoters and companies that we've worked with in the past. What Turki Alalshikh has done is he's come in and given us the ability to have guaranteed fights without having to worry about any of the logistics, any of the pay-per-views, sponsorships, how many seats you're going to sell, so on and so forth. The overall budget to the fight. When you talk about doing a fight without Turki, well, then it takes what me and you talked about was, what's that word that you use? Projections. We talked about what the projections, because that's the only thing that you can do.
Did you catch that? Because what Bill Haney just said in plain English is that he wants to be an employee. He doesn't want to have to worry about putting bodies in seats. He doesn't want to think about sponsorships, ticket sales, profitability, none of that. He just wants to show up, do the work, get paid up front. And look, there's nothing wrong with that if that's your preference. Some people prefer the stability of a salary over the upside of running your own business. That's a legitimate life choice. But that is not the energy you came. That's not the energy you've been coming with for years. Telling everyone that Devin Haney is the face of boxing, you and your whole payola syndicate that you had going on. He's the face of boxing. He's the biggest name in the sport. He's a transcendent star who is building up a legacy for the ages. You can't be the face of boxing and also need someone to guarantee your paycheck because you can't guarantee your own revenue. Those two things don't coexist. Now, let's talk about what's actually happening at ZUFFA. Because Haney fans want to spin this as a power move, like he's going somewhere big and exciting. So let's take a look at the roster. You've got Berlanga, who burned all his bridges with Eddie Hearn after the Canelo loss and didn't have a lot of other options on the table. Some people thought ZUFFA was a good landing spot for him. Maybe he comes a star over there. Okay. Then you've got Richardson Hitchens, who was on a solid path to building his name. He dropped his belt and went over to ZUFFA, presumably because of the paydays was better than what he could get chasing the titles. And listen, if getting paid is Richardson goal, I respect that. Do your thing. I keep telling you, you cannot hold fighters to standards that aren't their goals. But Devin Haney, with the undisputed championship, and you're at 147, the glamour division, going to that same roster, that's not a power move. That tells you everything about where his market value actually sits right now outside of a guaranteed deal. Now, here's where it really gets interesting, because Devin Haney's entire brand, his whole identity has been built around three things. 1, legacy. 2, he don't duck no smoke. And 3, He chases the belts, not money. If he goes to ZUFFA, all three of those can last simultaneously. Let's go through them one by one. Legacy. ZUFFA doesn't have a real belt. They have their own ZUFFA championship, which right now is essentially a trophy. It's not recognized by the major sanctioning bodies. It carries no historical weight. So if Devin goes over there, he's almost certainly going to get stripped of his actual belt, because the sanctioning bodies and Dana White aren't exactly on good terms right now. Dana came into boxing, talking noise about the establishment, and they've been watching him ever since. You think the WBC is going to let Dana White have any say over their championship? Legacy talk is dead the moment he signs. Let's go to number 2. He don't duck no smoke. If Devin goes to ZUFFA, we are getting the fights. If Devin goes to ZUFFA, we are never getting the fights we've been waiting for. We're not getting the Ryan Garcia rematch, which, by the way, both of them being champions right now means the fight could have been a unification fight. Maybe even potentially an undisputed fight. That is a mega fight. A fight that writes itself. And if he goes to ZUFFA, that fight is gone. We're not getting Roly. We're not getting the other 147 champions. We're not getting any of the fights that justify the legacy narrative he's been selling. That is ducking all the smoke. Full stop. Chases belts, not money. If he signs with ZUFFA for a guaranteed payday and drops his belt to do it, the opposite of everything he said is now true. He's chasing money and avoiding the competition. And he's doing both of them at the same time. If Devin Haney goes to ZUFFA, he's chasing money and avoiding the competition. And I need to address this directly because I already see it coming. Some people are going to try to spin this as Devin being blackballed, as the boxing industry conspiring against him because he's too good and they don't want to pay him his worth. We are not going to let that narrative breathe, not on Two Cents Boxing. So this is not about blackballing. This is not about Devin's race because he black. This is not about the industry being afraid of him. Oh, don't nobody want to fight him because he's so good. This is about market value. And market value is determined by your ability to generate revenue on your own, not how good you are in the ring. Devin Haney is a good fighter. I've never said otherwise. He's very technically sound. But being technically sound does not automatically make you a star that promoters will pay a premium for, regardless of the financial outcome. That's not how business works. You have to put people in seats. You have to generate interest on your own. You have to move the needle. And the hard truth is, Devin Haney's camp spent years telling us he was doing that without actually doing the work to make it happen. So now we're here. There's also a rumor floating around these YouTube streets that part of the plan for ZUFFA is for Devin to move to 154 pounds because the feeling is he can't compete with the dogs at 154 pounds right now. At 154 is arguably more stacked than 147. You got Fondora, you got Charlo, you got Bakram, Murtazaliev, Boots, Josh Kelly, Xander Zayas. It's a loaded division. So the theory is go to ZUFFA, get the bag, fight carefully selected opponents, stay comfortable, and if that's true, this is the complete and total death of the legacy narrative. Here's my 2 cents about the situation. Devin Haney is not a nobody. He's a recognizable name in boxing. People do know who he is, but people do know who he is. And people were genuinely looking forward to the Roly Romero fight. I know I was. I talked about that being a fight that I would like to see Devin Haney fight, and I've been talking about it for months. As much as people clown Roly, that was a competitive fight that people wanted to see. And the Ryan Garcia rematch, that fight has real electricity behind it, real anticipation. That is a fight that could define both of their careers. This is actually Devin Haney's moment. This is the peak. He's at 147 pounds, the glamour division, as a recognized champion with the compelling matchups right there in front of him. The path to cementing a real legacy is right there sitting on the table. And if the rumors are true, he's willing to walk away from all of it for a guaranteed check. That's not a power move. That's not playing chess. That's cashing out at the exact moment you should be going all in. Maybe the deal doesn't happen. I genuinely don't know. Part of me doesn't even believe he actually walks away from the position, drop his belt, and just run over to ZUFFA to do what and fight who exactly. But if he does, everything his fans argue with us about, everything we've been saying that people pushed back on for years gets confirmed. Quietly. In real time. So let me know what you think by dropping your 2 cents below in the comments. Is Devin Haney a walking contradiction? Is going to ZUFFA killing his legacy? Or is getting the bag the right move regardless of the narrative? I want to hear from both sides. Haney fans, speak up. Let's have a real conversation. Like the video if you found value in it. Subscribe if you're new. Follow me on X at 2cents20. Follow me on Instagram at 2centsboxing. Be sure to help support the channel by hitting the Cash App at $2centsboxing or hitting the heart with the $sign and leaving a special thanks below. Click the video coming up. Keep the conversation going, and I'll catch you in the next one.